Evening, everyone. Good evening, Radioland. Good evening, those on YouTube and any other medium that can, pick us up from where we are. We're here in cool Jacks River.
Yeah,
You know,
Saint Mary.
yes, Jacks River, St. Mary.
Yeah, man.
This is Waves 96.3 FM, and in studio with me this evening is, as usual, my partner in religious matters, Anthony Brown. Good
Yeah,
evening, Anthony.
yeah,
Good evening.
yeah. Thank you. Evening, Rohan.
It's good to be on the air another day. We were off last week Sunday. You
Yeah,
know,
we're
yes.
out doing missionary work.
Oh my, oh
We're in
my.
the parish of St. Catherine.
Yes.
Uh,
Instead to be exact.
Time and patience. Cheese field. It was a good day.
Yes,
I
certainly
think one of
was.
the highlights of the day is that it was in our travels from St. Mary to St. Catherine.
Yes.
We had a funeral at the Portmore Seventh Day Adventist Church.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had one at the Rockabessa Seventh Day Adventist Church.
Yes.
So we are on our way to Lindsay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we went up through and we end up at Gale.
Yeah.
And there was a funeral at the Gale Seventh Day Adventist Church. And
Yes,
then we
there was.
passed Gale and we go Jeffreytown. There was a funeral at Jeffreytown.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you can imagine straight down to Lindsay. Um,
It says a lot.
yeah, I mean, this is not the
It says a
norm.
lot.
This is not the usual thing.
Mm-hmm.
It means that our country and our world has moved into a different state.
Yes.
Um, and then this morning, yeah, I got the news that one of my cousins died in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's young. He's young, so I had to give condolences to my cousin, bigger, sporty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. Yeah,
The numbers are increasing,
yeah,
and
terrible.
then they're not being replaced. You know.
You talk about Minister Tufton's concern. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really the report to say that we have achieved our goal
Yeah.
of the, the,
The
the, the baby
population.
the baby is not being born.
Mm-hmm.
I think he says that our birth rate in Jamaica has dwindled seriously,
Yeah. It's less than one.
less than one.
It's
So all the
less than
mothers
one
that
per
are having
household.
babies now is less than one.
Yeah, but when you run the average, you get some point babies.
Some fight babies. Well, that's what is happening. The psyop was well. I grew up in the psyop where they were telling us two is better than too many. I
Yes.
didn't know that it
Yes.
was a means of eugenics
Mm-hmm.
at the
Mm-hmm.
time. I thought it was a genuine concern.
Family planning.
Yeah, I thought it was a genuine concern for
Mm-hmm.
the health of humanity. I didn't know that it was a depopulation agenda.
Yeah.
And so we are seeing the effect and the result of it
And
right now.
even today, I think the logo for National Housing Trust
Mm.
is still a
That
mother,
two,
father, and the
yeah,
two,
two is
the
better
male
than
and,
two,
and
man.
female
Yeah.
children. Yeah.
So the pre-programming, the predictive programming
Mm-hmm.
was actually rife.
I guess I need to change it now to quarter child,
Yeah,
mother, father,
quarter.
or just mother
No,
and
but
quarter child.
the quarter thing. You ever see the bathroom? The bathrooms with the sign on it. You have a male figure. You can
Yeah.
look on it and know it's a male. Then you have a
Yeah.
female figure, and then you have one where that is neither male nor female.
At this
You never
reach now.
know. So it's crazy.
Yes,
It's
that's
crazy.
strange, right?
Yes.
It's chaos.
Yes.
It's chaos.
Good evening, Debbie Ajabolo.
Yes.
Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome to our
Mm,
program.
mm.
All right, let's get right into it. We're looking this evening at the 10 kings.
Yeah.
We may look at a few of the 10.
Right.
Some number out of the 10, and also control chaos
Mm-hmm.
and energy and food crisis that
Yeah.
we're experiencing.
Yeah.
Whether or not we believe we're experiencing it, so we can look deeper on that as we go throughout. this evening's program. Sorry for the time of the start. Whenever there is something important that we hope to share, something always go wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna place any blame, but something always go wrong. So let's hope for better things. As we go throughout the program. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks that in spite of all that has been happening around us, you have granted us life and the opportunity to be a beacon to everyone around, you know, shining the light of truth so that persons may become aware of where exactly in Earth's history we are, and the need for us to take a stand. Let us hope that each person choose to take a stand for you. So we may be among the number that you are desirous of taking home with you when you shall return. Take us through this evening's program. As always, I ask, Lord, that you allow your Holy Spirit to take full control of the program and speak through us so that both us and the listeners and those participating may be edified. In Jesus' name we ask these mercies.
Amen.
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 Yes, Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I put together, a little thumbnail,
Mm-hmm.
and it so happened that the thumbnail changed.
Thumbnail change.
Yes, but I like what it has become.
Okay.
You know, the butterfly that the chrysalis has become. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it.
Okay.
No, man, this is something totally different that I had,
Okay.
on this one.
Any ideas?
But
That's how it works.
it's really the same thing. It's really the same
Mm-hmm.
thing in essence. All right. Could you say right off the bat, we're looking at the Ten Kings.
Mm-hmm.
There was something I had to play. Let me hope I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
Re-find it.
Um, while you're looking for that, you
Yes.
see, our listeners and viewers, we need to understand exactly what is taking place because apparently our world is currently in chaos. And
Yes.
on a daily basis, we have our global leaders coming out and they are trying to ensure that we're in a state of calm. So they
Yeah.
tell us some stuff. In ourselves, we know that these things that they are telling us are not true. They
Mhm.
are not real. But at least they tell us, and certain things that are supposed to take place. For example, the increase in gas and energy prices might
Mhm.
have a little lull for that time period, but inevitably it increased after the discussion. And so we need to understand why is it that there seems not to be any permanent solution
Yeah.
to the chaos that is now happening, and why is it that majority of the world leaders would have agreed, for example, that the war between Iran and Israel was really misguided. Misguided. And why is it that there's no solution to it?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So we need to understand the big picture. Most of us are looking at the puzzle pieces and not understanding where these pieces fits in.
Yeah.
So this afternoon we want to have a discussion.
Yeah.
We look at the Bible and we look at some events that took place recently, and see how we can decipher what is taking place.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let me play this right straight up.
As the pendulum shifted in our way, we've got a lot of momentum and a lot of support. This is a JMC Broadcasting special broadcast. You see who's on the screen here with me. I'm honored to have SG on return. We're just going to jump right into it. Thank you, SG, for being here.
Thank you for having me back, John Michael. It's good to be here.
All right, King Charles. I was wondering where the million protesters, the No Kings movement was. Why weren't there a million people outside the chamber in the White House? Kind of funny how that works. Anyway, I didn't get a chance really to watch any of the coverage, just the drive-by stuff that hits you, just due to the nature of the commitments I have, but I got the gist of it. But I'd like you to weigh in on it. King Charles visiting the White House, which is pretty much not a common occurrence, as I understand. I think it's been decades, maybe as far back as Nixon or something, where the king had come on our turf to be hosted and so forth. Perhaps I can be corrected on that, but it's certainly been a long time. So it's not a common occurrence. And this particular visit with King Charles was extraordinary. All kinds of messaging, signals, anomalies. I'd like you to share with us what you saw and what is the true significance from SG's lens with regards to the King's visit.
Well, it's fascinating that you should start the conversation off with that particular topic because it tees up, I think, a lot of what we're going to get into for this short broadcast today. Fundamentally, John Michael, when we look at what happened with the king and the English monarchy, the English crown coming over and paying homage to the American president, being hosted by the American president inside the vassal territory of Washington, D.C., on the grounds of the White House. Now, this is after we've laid claim to the White House under the laws of war, right? And we saw that happen between January of 2021 and January of 2025. There's different punctuation marks along the way, the planting of dual 88-foot flagpoles, various construction projects that were done during the Biden era, certain military decorum and tapestry that was sort of woven out there for people in the very early days. All of this signaling to us that jurisdiction with Washington, D.C. changed fundamentally during the first Trump presidency and then during the interim period where we saw this Manchurian Biden operation from ostensibly what was supposed to be the Oval Office. And so now here we are, early 2026, and we have the English crown coming to visit. This is after the Queen's death, right, which was on 9/8 of 2022. So 9 plus 8 is 17 of the year 2022. Interesting to note for your audience as sort of a sidebar, unrelated to the Charles issue, but the day after the English Queen Elizabeth II, passed away publicly, 9/8/2022, on 9/9, Nintendo, the largest gaming company in the world, released one of their highly sought impending game releases that was going to happen. It was going to happen all across the Western world, and the title of the game was The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. So as we look at what's happening right now with King Charles, it's all symbolic. It all pays homage to what's going on in the broader landscape of this irregular conflict that you and I talk about frequently on air. But when we look at the visit itself, what were the marks that show clearly what happened? Well, we have an obvious changing of authority because we saw beehives involved. When we look at the traditions and the internal culture of the British royal family and a European aristocratic high society over the last 1,000 years, those that kept the beehives were regarded as the wealthy landowners. They were the barons, the earls, the kings, the queens, the royals, the governors, things of that nature. Honey has always been a delicacy in the food world. When we look back over the last couple of 1,000 years, 3,000 years, really all the way back to ancient Egypt, is sort of this, it's like having the fat sheep, right, to keep with the comparison there. And so when we look at those traditions over the last 1,000 years or so, when there was an aristocratic changing of the guard, when there was a monarch that had passed or someone that had moved into a position of authority or a pulpit of power, one of the things ritualistically that was done was the old guard would walk with the new guard. In other words, the outgoing would walk with the incoming, and they would go visit the beehives of the local estate or of the local manor, or whatever it happened to be. Either in the British Isles or in Central Europe. I don't want to get too bogged down in the details, but fundamentally what would occur is they would inform the bees that there had been a change of power. And so that's exactly what we saw happening here in the United States of America with the English king and with the English queen both. So in other words, we have dual sides, the masculine and the feminine of the monarchical line represented here during this gestural process. And something that I thought was absolutely incredible, John Michael, is as this entire process goes on, we have these, public statements that are made, these very sort of pomp and nostalgic and throwback to yesteryear's type of statements coming from King Charles. We have President Trump talking a little bit about that, also talking about his own royal lineage through the Scottish MacLeod line, which I submit to you, that's probably why we didn't hear much from the No Kings protesters, because they were all having heart attacks when they realized what was actually happening with respect to who President Trump and his family line really truly is. But when we look at that entire situation and we appreciate it holistically for what it had for what it conveys to us here as Americans, we saw President Trump saluting during the English national anthem. We saw Melania with hand over her heart during both national anthems. President Trump, I think, also did salute during the Star Spangled Banner, but I found it interesting that we were seeing these gestures of claimsmanship, essentially, right? Gestures of allegiance when one is paying homage to, an anthem that's being played in a military fashion. It wasn't that President Trump.
Oh, that's length and that's depth.
It's a mouthful.
Yes.
It's a mouthful. But the big question though, all right, so we saw broadcasts on the news media. So it took all the media coverage from all the media globally. This remarkable visit of King Charles visiting the United States, right? Yeah. And so the question is, when you saw that visit, what came to your mind? Did you just see, the, what you call it now, some sort of diplomatic
because
engagement
things
or
like those happen all the time. People come and visit,
Yeah, I mean,
big wigs
and
come
you
and visit
and you you go to the White House and you shake and you do photo up and that's it, don't it? So for those of us who are part of this program, I think we touched on it Tuesday night on the program. So we would have been a step ahead of the majority of the people.
Yeah.
So if you notice, what the gentleman just said, the type of significance of the signaling that was taking place. But because we were not a part of the aristocracy, so we would not have seen the signals that were being done in plain sight. Understand what I'm saying? And we have a lot of persons in Jamaica. I think Jamaica has prided itself now, the young and up and coming. If you look at the rings on their fingers, the regular Joe, the rings on their fingers and how they talk, they tell you straight up about the third eye, so?
Okay.
Yeah. These so they understand what is happening, and you can't tell them about God because them think they are for the people are not illuminated. So them talk nowadays, So I'm wondering if they saw what was taking place as well. And then so that's for the regular Joe on the street who has I don't want to say who evolved from the traditions of their parents.
Or is it just a claim?
Claim that they have the third eye.
They know.
Then I would want to ask the question to another group. And this group would be the group of Christians.
Yeah.
Because they are the ones who are supposed to be on top of this. Because this has prophetic implication for where we are now and what comes next. Do you think that any of these groups understood exactly what took place?
The church is going to tell you whether or not they know, and I doubt they know. They're going to tell you that, boy, it's just another visit, and there may have been so many reasons for this visit outside of any other true reasons.
The big picture,
it's just another visit. Because there was one such visit with the Queen,
right?
And they would have told you that many other dignitaries
visited.
So it's nothing different.
It's nothing new.
Even the Pope visited, and there was no big thing
you can
resulting from that
in 2015. So and people thought that this was just why I tell you, this was just ordinary.
I think that would have been their narrative. But I really find it interesting, Anthony. For me, it was information. It was history.
Mm-hmm.
What we just heard,
Mm-hmm.
because they were talking about this whole bee thing, and
The
I didn't
visit
know that honey and beekeeping was such a big thing for
was
certain levels of
part
people.
of the secret, part of the
Yeah, yeah.
illuminations.
Mm,
But you notice it's a tradition for thousands of years,
yeah.
millennia.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because this whole idea of the secret society, when you think about it, think about Jewish mysticism, the
Mm-hmm.
Kabbalah.
Mm-hmm.
The Kabbalah is coming from Babylon, based on the history,
Jewish mysticism
Jewish
coming from
mysticism.
Babylon.
And
Yeah.
when you talk about the Jews and mysticism, the
Mm-hmm.
two don't go together.
Yes, yes. Because it's such a
Because
come
the
from
Jews,
Babylon.
the Jews are supposed to be the worshippers of the
Mhm.
Creator.
Yeah.
And the Creator doesn't have anything to do with darkness. Light and darkness don't work together. So the Kabbalah,
Mhm.
from which we have these secret societies,
Yeah.
the Rosicrucian, the Knights Templars, Knights of Malta, all of these things
Mhm.
coming down to Freemasonry. It's coming from the Kabbalah. so so the whole beehive thing and the bees and the honey,
Mm-hmm.
man, you
And
can
then
imagine where
mentioning
I drink
a
honey.
changing of the guard.
Eh?
A changing of the guard.
All right, so the
From. Mm-hmm.
ninth degree of Freemasonry,
Mm-hmm.
these will change. So the young, normally when you see a picture, normally you see just like what they said, the picture of the old
Yeah.
walking with the new,
Mm-hmm.
because Trump is not really young.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Trump not young
Mm-hmm.
in terms of age. But normally you see a signal picture where the younger Mason sits in the chair and
Yeah.
the older one stands and puts his hands on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Now most people think it's a very good pose,
Okay.
but it's not just a pose; it's a signal. So what they're saying is that the monarch,
Mm-hmm.
when there's a changing of the guard, and I want us to understand the changing of the guard, meaning that there's a changing of the world order. You notice he went at length to mention that the monarchy of England
Mm-hmm.
is existed for over 1,000 years, right?
Yeah.
And so that sort of system that they had, that is now being changed. So the change is not just because you're shifting it to a US rather than a Great Britain, so territory,
Yeah.
but it's a change in terms of the world order. So now you have what is called the new world or new global order.
Yeah.
So this is how the changes come. So so that's where it's at.
So, Christian, with such a transition, or we call it now, would such an interaction take place with individuals who are not royalty? In other words,
With a commoner.
that's the word, because
With
you're
a
talking
commoner.
royalty,
Yeah, with a commoner.
Would it be possible?
For a commoner to,
Because
no.
yeah, many persons don't see Donald Trump as a king.
Well, no, because
Mhm.
they don't have the genealogy, so or the
Right.
bloodline. Well,
Mhm.
they speak in their language, it's bloodline, really.
Mm-hmm.
But what you need to understand is that all the presidents of the United States
Yeah.
are actually of the same bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
So even though Obama seems to have the pigment of his skin
Yeah.
seem
Yeah.
to be different,
Mm-hmm.
is family to Donald Trump. And
Yeah.
Donald Trump,
Yeah.
they are family to the Bushes and to the all of them,
Mm-hmm.
Clintons and all of these guys. So they're all of the same bloodline. So when the Bible talks about the kings of the earth,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because we don't have the history,
Yeah.
and because we ourselves are not able to trace our bloodline. I tell you.
Yes. Yes.
And therefore we are not able to appreciate what is taking place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that is why they call us cattle and goyim, because we're
we're just existing.
yeah,
We
we're
don't really
existing.
know.
So all of that pomp and pageantry that took place at the White House in the US recently, it was significant for the rest of the world, those who are should I say illuminated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The beehive part of it though,
Mhm.
I noticed that the media, the media, they were, you know, they were really determined to allow us to see the trip to the farm
Mhm.
where they visited the beehive.
Mhm.
And I think they even highlighted the fact that one of the bee um, pitched on Donald Trump's hand, and he was not scared, or it did not hurt him, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they went at great length to ensure that the Globe saw the visit to the beehive and what transpired.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not just to visit a beehive is
I mean, can you
two
imagine
big
bees,
people. Big
bees
people
of,
from
of
bees.
all the insects or
Yes.
whatever
Yes.
that you would have? Why not the butterfly?
Mm.
Why not a butterfly colony? Why a beehive?
Or eagle, you're talking about America.
Yeah, yeah, the
Some
bald
eagle
eagle.
something.
Yeah, or
Mm.
something like that. Something that was
Yeah.
part of the whole culture.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we saw the beehive. One of the things that they spoke about is the food part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So they said that the honey was part of the delicacy.
Yeah.
Now we need to understand where the globe is going, where food is concerned, and the famine
Scary.
that is ahead.
That is scary. Yeah.
And so the beehive visit
Mm-hmm.
does not only take significance as it relates to the changing
Mm-hmm.
of the world order in terms of conferring or is not conferred, because he's already a king.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think to sanction or to place to make sure that you know
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
this is really a king. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So the rest of the elites or the rest of the brotherhood would recognize now Donald Trump and his rule.
That's king.
And so you ask the question, so if why is it that the globe, because remember now, King Charles would not have conferred this order, this new rule on Donald Trump
Yeah.
without the consent of the rest of those who are um, those who have the power.
Yes.
Yeah, those who have the power. And so the power does not reside in King Charles, and those just for history, because King Charles highlighted it in his speech. He spoke about the Magna Carta in his speech and so on.
Oh, yeah.
Now, because of the developments where the Magna Carta was concerned, remember the barons of Europe and so on, the papacy
Yeah.
Required tribute from the English crown, and the barons and so on would have to be the ones who pay that sort of tribute. And so
Okay.
this is where the development of the Magna Carta came in.
Mm-hmm.
And coming out of all of that, if you go back to the history, you will find that the papacy became the owner of the crown of England. And
Yeah.
so the
Yeah.
crown was leased back to the English aristocracy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So by right, the crown that King Charles is
So
wearing
they're renting
belongs to the Knights Templars.
Yeah. Yeah.
But remember, the Knights Templars under Jack de Molay, the French king, October 13th thing. That's all. The Friday the 13th became a bad lucky day.
Yes.
He tried to destroy the entire Knight Templars in that one sweep under the leadership of Jack de Molay.
Yeah.
But the crown actually belonged to the knights,
Oh, interesting.
and by extension the papacy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you ask the question now, who gave King Charles the authority to transfer the power? And then
It's coming from the
I
top.
tell you, and
Mm-hmm.
then if you look behind it, you know, I remember there's a feud between the papacy
The United States.
and
And Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a seemingly a feud going
Yeah.
on between them.
Mm-hmm.
No, so, but then the instruction came to go and make the man, I mean, sanction his kingship.
And there was no
I know,
issues.
no, because you have to go do it.
Nobody had any issues.
So, you know, behind the
Mhm.
scene, that's why I'm saying that we need to look at the big picture
True.
and look
True.
at where we are going.
It will be easier going forward.
Mm.
Um, so Bill Clinton was saying,
Mm.
you know, some things in relation to that kind of meeting.
Yeah.
You know, let's hear Bill Clinton.
Let me tell you something. When a British monarch gets on a plane and flies across the Atlantic to sit down with an American president, and it's the first time that's happened in nearly 20 years, you ought to pay attention, because that's not a social call. That's not afternoon tea for the fun of it. That is a signal. And the question you got to ask yourself is, a signal of what exactly? Now, I've been in that White House. I've sat across from world leaders when the cameras were off and the real conversation started. And I can tell you, when the pomp gets this big, it's usually because the problems underneath are even bigger. King Charles III just landed in Washington this week for a 4-day state visit. And most people looked at the pictures.
Mm. Yeah. All right. So, Bill Clinton,
Mm-hmm.
a former president.
It's been a while since I
Yeah,
heard Bill
former.
Clinton.
Welcome, Teddy.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to have you. Hoping that you're feeling better. I
So he's
think
not
Tuesday night.
he's not out of the woods, but
Yeah.
you know, feeling better.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
God is good. God is good. And especially now in these times.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton just hit the nail on the head, because basically, who going to listen to Bill Clinton? Yeah, because the regular people are going to listen to Bill Clinton. So, Bill Clinton is talking to a set of persons who are part of the brotherhood.
That
so,
is
so
it.
you're talking
That is it.
directly to a particular demographic,
Mm-hmm.
because Bill Clinton know that me and you now listen to him. So if we
Yeah,
are
yeah,
scroll
yeah.
through social media, we see something from Bill Clinton. Nobody not up on it.
It's meaningless to us.
Yeah.
He's nobody. To
Yeah,
us, he's
yeah,
a nobody.
yeah,
He's not
yeah.
a nobody.
Mm.
Yeah. But he's saying that
Yeah.
thing was very significant.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just a normal visit.
It's a signal. The man
Yeah.
not just leave it to your imagination. No. The man say when a king not just get up and go visit. And when you see him come, it's a signal. No, the question is, Rohan.
Yeah.
It says that there, you know, the reason for the visit is actually a signal.
Yeah.
In addition to the signal, he's saying that there are some underlying issues, you know what I mean, that is supposed to come to the fore, and so there has to be some working out.
Mm-hmm.
So what is happening is that so we might ask the question now, what are some of the underlying issues that are supposed to be happening at this time? Is it that Donald Trump has to be given a public, I want to find a word that says that he has been endorsed. Yeah. I think that's the word.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that Donald Trump has to be given that public endorsement by the aristocracy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like what the gentleman explained, that, you know, the trip to the beehive,
Mm-hmm.
shows that power has been transferred, so that because Donald Trump has been tapped as the person to bring in the chaos, because
Yeah.
we're in the
Yeah.
what is called the fourth turning.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the book that was written by Neil Howe and Strass
Yeah.
and Howe,
Yeah.
the fourth turning, you'll understand what is happening. So we are in the period where we are supposed to go through severe chaos. Donald Trump is actually causing that chaos.
He's a creator. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if there was somewhat of a a drawback as to those the power brokers globally
Mm-hmm.
didn't understand the role that he was supposed to be playing, and so they have to come now and give that public endorsement
Yeah. Yeah.
so that the powers that be will understand that this is his role. You think?
I see it. I see it just as you explained.
Mm-hmm.
And then you notice Bill Clinton in his whatever it is he was sharing,
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't guessing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that he was saying, "Boy, he thinks," or he thinks. He was telling you that it was a signal, number one, and then the whole purpose is A, B, C, D, E,
Mm-hmm.
as if he's giving a report. You know,
Maybe you need to play him again
he's
so that
giving a report.
we can get it good. But yeah.
Even repeat or continue.
No, just play, yeah, just go back a little bit and come forward so that we can get what Bill Clinton has said.
Yes.
Because him really do it
He
thing
was
good
saying
enough.
some things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was saying some things.
I've sat across from world leaders when the cameras were off and the real conversation started. And I can tell you, when the pomp gets this big, it's usually because the problems underneath are even bigger.
All right, so hold on.
King Charles III just landed in Washington.
All right, so notice what I'm saying. 'Cause that miss me now. He says that when the pump get
It's
this
this
big,
big.
so meaning that when you make such a big spread,
Yeah, yeah.
it means that the problem underneath is even bigger.
Mhm.
So I don't think we understand the level of chaos that is upon us. The type of what you call it, the type of fallout that we should see among the nations,
Yeah.
among industries, what I mean, among churches. I don't think we understand that our civil and religious life
Yeah.
is going to be upended based on the era that we are now in.
Major way. Yeah, a major way.
Mm-hmm.
And you're correct on that because how do we know the
Yes.
extent to which things will develop?
Mm-hmm.
Um, maybe we take a second look
Mm-hmm.
on our spirituality,
Yeah.
on the connection we have, or we say we have with God.
Right.
The medium through which that connection is made, as in through our churches and the belief system that we have and all of that. I think we will take a second look because I firmly believe that each of us is just going idly by.
Yeah.
Everything is okay as it is. There's no need for urgency. There's no need to take stock.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is just fine. And everything will remain that kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And you find it strange because we are looking forward to the second coming of Christ. Every Christian will tell you that. Looking forward to the second coming of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we are not anticipating any negative, I would use negative eventualities. Everything will be smooth sailing
Right.
until Christ returns. But when you go to Matthew
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of the Gospels, you'll see where the world will be turned upside down,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as we approach the second coming of Christ.
Yeah.
They are telling you, they are signaling to you that, listen, if you're not secure yet, just brace yourself because it will be turned up times 10.
Yeah.
But then the Christian is thinking differently. So the Christian is not working with what the Bible says,
Mm-hmm.
you know, neither with what is happening in front of our very eyes.
Yeah.
So you find it really strange.
Yeah.
It is really, really strange.
Yeah. One other thing is that the one other thing that is of concern though,
Yeah.
is that the United States, based on its constitution, it came about on the premise that you would not see a king
Yeah.
at the helm of the civil leadership
Mm-hmm.
in that country, based on the constitution, and you would not see a pope-like figure
Yeah.
at the helm of a church or the church in the United States. So it was birthed as a Protestant nation,
Yes.
and the founders went through great length to ensure that you did not see a monarchical system coming to the fore.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we have this visible pomp and pageantry and this conference upon Donald Trump,
Yeah.
royalty. I think the commenter went at length to inform us that Donald Trump made reference to his right to royalty by tracing his mother's bloodline
Mm-hmm.
to back to the to kingship. So we need to understand that what is taking place in the United States today and by extension in our world
Yeah.
is unprecedented.
Yes.
Because for over 250 years the United States has been ruling or using the constitution, abiding by its own constitution.
Yeah.
And we have seen now this is not just a shift, this is a turnaround, something new, and to endorse all of that, we see Donald Trump publishing photograph of himself as a pope, publishing photograph of himself as Jesus and as a king, and so it is an indication that the Constitution of the United States. So, Rohan, as a Christian, as a follower of God, we have always thought, well, the book, The Great Controversy, told us that the Constitution of the United States would have actually changed in order to accommodate a national Sunday law, meaning that a force of they would force the citizens of the United States to worship on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I have not seen in the media where the Constitution of the United States, the 2/3 majority.
I was sitting right there, but you are there.
Go on.
No, you are there. Because I've heard it so many times. I've had dialogue with persons before. I would consider them persons of my kind, in that we have the same belief system, and they are telling us that boy, the wound no heal yet, and the image no form yet, because there has to be constitutional changes in the United States, as in they meet as, I don't know, whatever their parliament system is like. And then
2/3 majority at the House, and
then
the
blot
Senate.
out this, and then replace with that.
So remove the First Amendment and take away all of that.
They say until that happens, there's no need to no need to worry, and nothing can happen until, no matter what you're seeing, it cannot happen. No, this man becomes king.
I noticed that the person before, I don't know if you can cue it back because it might we might not understand exactly what he was saying. The one that you play first.
Yes, sir.
The person said that prior to the arrival of King Charles in the
Yeah.
US, there was actually a march, and we reported on that march several times. It's called the No Kings March.
Yeah.
And so there was a protest in the US that Donald Trump was taking on the trappings of kingship.
Yeah.
And the people who obviously they understand their constitution and understand the framers of the intention
Yeah.
of the framers of the constitution, that the United States should not be governed by a monarchical system.
Yeah.
And he was, questioning where were these people when King Charles visited, But he was saying, man, the people them heart nearly have a heart attack when them see and notice what I'm saying now. When these persons saw King Charles and Donald Trump visited the farm and go visit the beehive,
Yeah.
they realize it done. Done. So if we were thinking about a constitutional change, this signal, this what you call it now? Yeah, signal would have, for those who are on the inside, would have settled the argument that the constitution doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what is happening now is that for the Christian community who are actually looking for a sign or looking for a constitutional change, they are going to wake up one morning and see a Sunday law. And they are going to say, no man, this is
But
impossible.
are they going to believe it?
That's what I'm saying. They're going to say it's impossible because I mean, you have to have constitutional change.
And we're sitting and we're waiting until that happens.
I think if you look at the Bible,
The Jews are still sitting and waiting.
Yeah. I think if you look at the Bible though, where you remember on the Mount of Transfiguration,
Yeah.
when the disciples were there with Jesus and they saw what took place with Moses and Elijah.
Yeah.
And the disciples came to Jesus and said, man, we know say you're the Messiah. But based on the teaching of the Pharisees and the scribes,
Yes. Which they come out of
Elijah must first come.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we not see Elijah yet. So how you there? That was the gist of the question, How is it that you are here, the Messiah?
Yeah.
And we haven't seen the forerunner. You see what I'm saying? And Jesus said, yeah man, him come already, brother. So what we saw last week, this week,
Yeah.
I think earlier this today Sunday, man, our first day of the week.
Oh, last week.
Yeah.
What we saw last week.
What we saw last week
Look at it that way.
taking place in the United States is actually the changes that were necessary to now implement a Sunday law.
And the Constitution still remains intact.
Yeah, but so what is happening now is that, remember, he said that we have now a change of the system. So we're not being governed by a republic.
Yeah.
That's key, We're not being governed now by a republic, but by a monarchy. So with a republic, because remember the other day Jamaica said they want to become a republic.
Yeah.
Barbados went republic.
We're not dropping.
So when you become a republic, then you discard the monarchy. So the thing we're going in a parliament with Angela and the Mace.
Yes.
I mean that wouldn't go on because the Mace wouldn't in the parliament. And so so the United States, being a republic, and Donald Trump would not be able to function as a monarchy. The fact that we have now the power being conferred on him, it means that the whole idea of the republic has been discarded without a vote Mercy.
Just,
Without a vote, you know.
just visiting a beehive.
Yeah, without a vote at
Mhm.
the lower house and the upper house,
Mhm.
Congress and the Senate.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah.
some saying.
Mhm.
And notice when Donald Trump was inaugurated in 2025, everything what the man just avoid the Congress, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be an executive order.
Mhm.
So that means from day one him start rule as a king. And people say, how am I do this? How am I do that?
Take
So
it
the
or
man
leave it.
look on the war we're going between Iran. Them say no war not supposed to go on unless the Congress approve it, you know. That's all.
You don't know.
And him say, I
Really?
know war we have, man. We just have an what you say have.
You know, I heard that thing. I
The
heard
man
that
say no
thing.
war, no
And
war,
it's a
brother.
peace and
Yeah, we
it's
have a
war, so you
little
can have
incursion
peace.
and we can do a thing. Yeah, so I know why. But no, them can't come to him. They can't come to him. 'Cause man a king. Man get all what them call it now? I know commission. What them call it now? Him get all he come to me.
Of
He
a
come to me.
mandate business.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
It's
another word for
instrument.
mandate.
Him get him
Yes.
instrument of authority.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
Yeah. Play him have a clear.
Interesting.
Find there's different punctuation marks along the way, the planting of dual 88-foot flagpoles, various construction projects that were done during the Biden era, certain military decorum and tapestry that was sort of woven out there for people in the very early days. All of this signaling to us that jurisdiction with Washington, D.C. changed fundamentally during the first Trump presidency and then during the interim period where we saw this Manchurian Biden operation from ostensibly what was supposed to be the Oval Office. And so now here we are, early 2026, and we have the English crown coming to visit. This is after the Queen's death, right, which was on 9/8 of 2022. So 9 plus 8 is 17 of the year 2022. Interesting to note for your audience as sort of a sidebar, unrelated to the Charles issue, but the day after the English Queen Elizabeth II, passed away publicly, 9/8/2022, on 9/9, Nintendo, the largest gaming company in the world, released one of their highly sought impending game releases that was going to happen. It was going to happen all across the Western world, and the title of the game was The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. So when we look at what's happening right now with King Charles, it's all symbolic. It all pays homage to what's going on in the broader landscape of this irregular conflict that you and I talk about frequently on air. But when we look at the visit itself, what were the marks that show clearly what happened? Well, we have an obvious changing of authority because we saw beehives involved. When we look at the traditions and the internal culture of the British royal family and a European aristocratic high society over the last 1,000 years, those that kept the beehives were regarded as the wealthy landowners. They were the barons, the earls, the kings, the queens, the royals, the governors, things of that nature. Honey has always been a delicacy in the food world. When we look back over the last couple of 1,000 years, 3,000 years, really all of the way back to ancient Egypt, is sort of this, it's like having the fat sheep, right, to keep with the comparison there. And so when we look at those traditions over the last 1,000 years or so, when there was an aristocratic changing of the guard, when there was a monarch that had passed or someone that had moved into a position of authority or a pulpit of power, one of the things ritualistically that was done was the old guard would walk with the new guard. In other words, the outgoing would walk with the incoming, and they would go visit the beehives of the local estate or of the local manor, or whatever it happened to be. Either in the British Isles or in Central Europe. I don't want to get too bogged down in the details, but fundamentally what would occur is they would inform the bees that there had been a change of power. And so that's exactly what we saw happening here in the United States of America with the English king and with the English queen both. So in other words, we have dual sides, the masculine and the feminine of the monarchical line represented here during this gestural process. And something that I thought was absolutely incredible, John Michael, is as this entire process goes on, we have these public statements that are made, these very sort of pomp and nostalgic and throwback to yesteryear's type of statements coming from King Charles. We had President Trump talking a little bit about that, also talking about his own royal lineage through the Scottish MacLeod line, which I submit to you, that's probably why we didn't hear much from the No Kings protesters, because they were all having heart attacks when they realized what was actually happening with respect to who President Trump and his family line really truly is. But when we look at that entire situation and we appreciate it holistically for what it had for what it conveys to us here as Americans, we saw the President Trump saluting during the English national anthem. We saw Melania with hand over her heart during both national anthems. President Trump, I think, also did salute during the Star Spangled Banner, but I found it interesting that we were seeing these gestures of claimsmanship, essentially, right? Gestures of allegiance when one is paying homage to, an anthem that's being played in a military fashion. It wasn't that President Trump put his hand over his heart; it was a military salute. That, in and of itself, implies that has been a jurisdictional shifting of the guard somewhere along the way, and all of the behavior from the royal couple really seems to confirm that over time. I'll end this opening segment with this point, John Michael. When we look at the movement of that day, the clothing, the environment that was created, the various news shots that were created, the state dinner and how that was presented, and the angles that were chosen, why they were chosen, the colors, the tablecloths, things like that. You had a lot of Tiffany blues, spread throughout all of these things. You had a lot of gold and gold accent, a lot of black and white with
Black and white.
Light and darkness.
Yeah.
The black and white squares. Tiffany blue, the Phoenicians.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we understand where we are in this world. Thank you, Teddy. Yeah, accolades. Yeah. You got all the accolades that relevant to his rulership.
Yeah.
He mentioned that this took place in Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
and he says that it was a vassal territory prior to King Charles coming, right?
Yeah.
Think about this. There are 3 territory in the world
Mm-hmm.
that are actually jurisdiction in themselves, even though they are within a jurisdiction. So
Yes.
if you understand.
Yeah.
So for example, in Rome, Italy
Mm-hmm.
is a country that is governed by president and so on. But in the heart of Italy, you have Rome.
Yeah.
And Rome is a country within Italy,
Mm-hmm.
because Rome is actually ruled by the Pope. The Pope is head of state and head of church.
Yes.
So?
Yes.
So you have a territory within a territory. In England, you have the same thing where King Charles is coming from. You have the City of London. The City of London is actually a territory by itself.
Yeah.
Within England, and then in America now you have Washington D.C.
Yeah.
within the United States, which is a territory within a territory. Now, the significance of these 3 territories is that the Vatican is the moral leader of the world.
With the king as a head.
The king.
With the king. With that king as head.
With a king, yeah, with a God,
That God.
with the Pope, yeah, the Vicar of Christ, and then the banking system, the financial system of the Roman Catholic Empire is actually England, the City of London, yeah, and then the military might of the Roman Catholic system is actually Washington D.C., United States,
King at the head.
with a king at the end. I like how you bring out the kings, the kings. No, so he's saying that Washington D.C. being a vassal territory
Yeah.
has now moved to being a free territory because now it has a monarch in charge.
Mm-hmm.
So it is So, but we thought that in 1776, the United States became independent. Or so. That's what it was, 1776, July
Yeah.
4th.
So that meaning it was free.
When?
That's how it go. From
Yeah, if
1776
you were
supposed to be
independent,
free.
you were free.
Mm-hmm.
But they are saying that this visit is what actually gave it its
Made it.
freedom. So then you ask the question, 1962, Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica became independent. But we are still a vassal state.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So are we going to see a king? No, we couldn't say so. We're not going to
Alright.
say
Alright. But you imagine you are saying
Mhm.
um saying now that this place is free
Yeah, yeah,
at a time as this
yes.
when there is so much chaos and everything the opposite of freedom
Mm-hmm.
is now being established, and you are calling the place a free place.
Europeans, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So welcome Carl. Welcome Carl
Carl
Jackson.
Jackson,
Yeah man.
yes, yes,
Good to have you.
yes, man.
And other bowl it says Oval
You know,
Office. Oval
he has a way of saying
egg.
things. Eh? Egg
Egg.
office.
What do egg carry? What, the egg or the chicken? I wish one
I
come
don't
first.
know. I don't know if it's yolk or
But I
egg
think
white.
I think
Mm-hmm.
one of the big thing about the Oval Office is that
Mm-hmm.
when you look up into the ceiling, you will see
Yeah.
I wish one of the president ton got up there. How him name? Washington.
Ano-
With him
Another one.
13 version. Washington man.
Oh, that
Yeah
mean
man.
another one when
Yeah.
that tall one. I know him. Yeah.
Franklin D.
I know
I know Franklin. Which one are
Lincoln.
the, oh
I
Lincoln.
know
No, Lincoln.
Lincoln.
No, no, Lincoln
Okay,
or
so
Washington.
Washington.
He has
And he's
been
the original
deified,
from
eh?
day one.
Oh, Lincoln.
Washington has been there from day one. That's all. The first one was he not the first?
Which one of them?
When the Constitution was being put
Yeah,
together and all of that,
yeah.
was it not? He was not the father. Hey, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I will for the
I'm not sure.
them are the but the whole of them. But I tell you.
Mm,
All right, so Teddy said, Vatican is which morally?
the moral leader of the
Teddy.
world.
All right,
Yeah.
listen what I'm going.
A
Was
fool.
it
Where?
2021?
Mhm.
2021. We have a Blessed Hope magazine that has the original thing.
Yeah.
The all the major religious leaders globally,
Mhm.
I think it was 40 of them. They met at the Vatican and they confer moral leadership
Mhm.
of the world
To the Pope.
to the papacy, Pope
Mhm.
Francis then. But if you notice the feud, if you go back and look at the feud between Pope Leo and King Trump,
Mhm.
you will see that the United States has also questioned why is it that the Pope, the moral leader, is meddling in geopolitics.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's not just our it's not just the figment of our imagination. The global leaders, they have acknowledged the Pope as the moral leader of the world. I remember we said
Yeah.
that he's the
Yeah.
head of all these secret societies. So
Mhm.
you know, yeah. Of who or where
Yeah. Yeah.
these
He's
people accord themselves with titles no one gave them.
Joy.
What utter nonsense. No
It's a
wonder our Lord
number.
Jesus is returning to reclaim his title. Yeah, King
Number
of
of
Kings,
titles that
Lord
Satan
of Lords.
give these people.
Yeah.
You were surprised. And he wanted to give it to Jesus. You remember the temptation?
King of
Yeah. If
this
you
the dragon Satan.
yeah, if Christ had, given him homage,
Yeah. All
then
this kingdom I'll give
yeah,
to you.
so many things.
Mhm.
So many things. So it is real.
Mhm.
These titles being conferred.
Yes.
Conferred, yeah man, they're real. See him laughing at King Trump. You see? That's like Donald Trump, despite whatever happened the other day,
Mhm.
with the whole beehive and all of that,
Mhm.
he still had to keep saying it because maybe that signal
Mhm.
only a few persons, only those who were high up, understood
recognize
it. So
what is
he
happening.
had to keep saying that, listen, I am really a king.
Mhm.
When he was speaking to his bloodline,
Yes.
okay, you wouldn't have to tell us that.
But remember, the White House also tweeted out,
Mhm.
remember the picture Donald Trump and King Charles standing together. The
Yeah.
White House tweet out two kings.
Hmm.
So
Yes. Yes.
so there was actually an acknowledgement by the, I mean, albeit they think that people see it as a jest,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
we know that they were serious. Now, you ask the question, what is the reason why at this time we are having a conversation about Donald Trump being king, and also what is the relevance of King Charles going there to confer the accolades on Donald Trump?
Hmm.
If you look at Revelation 17 tells us, and before we reach Revelation 17, Revelation 16 tells us why it is significant for us to be looking at the movements in global politics at this time,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see whether or not there's a change in the guards from these uh, presidents and prime ministers to kings of the earth.
Hmm.
Um, Revelation 16 and verse 13 says, "And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
Yeah.
For they are the spirit of devils," verse 14, "working miracles, which goeth forth unto the kings of the earth, and to the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty."
Yeah.
So once you see the kings rolling out,
Hmm. Hmm.
once you see the
Oh.
kings rolling out, which is not the norm, because
Hmm.
the United States should not have any king.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
once you see
Hmm.
the kings rolling out in the United States, it's significant. It means that the three unclean spirits like frogs,
Yes.
and I think,
Activated.
yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it means that we are now in a gathering time.
Yeah.
Teddy alluded to it earlier when she said Jesus has to come back to
Hmm.
claim. So the fact that the gathering is now taking place, it means that they are preparing for the return of Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome, Sadiq.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadiqa.
Um,
Yeah, our friend from
blessed.
Trinidad.
Good
Yes. Yes. She's wishing us, and she's speaking to
to Teddy. Yeah.
Teddy.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Yes. It's good to know that Teddy is feeling better.
Mm,
Yeah, so he can be here,
right.
commenting so many times. Yeah, Teddy is really upbeat tonight.
Yes.
Um, yes, Anthony. So we have the 10 kings.
Mm-hmm.
We have the 10 kings.
Yeah.
And these kingdoms being formed
Mm-hmm.
right throughout the world, or each king assuming, his position,
Over the territory.
taking his possession or
Mhm.
territory,
Mhm.
and timely we are seeing um, the kings coming forward, because we may not know who will be king of this territory,
Mhm.
but then we are seeing, that being, I won't use the word fomented, coming into being.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're seeing that coming into being, with Donald Trump being one of the later ones.
Mhm.
Before long, you'll see what becomes of, the war, especially in Iran.
Mhm.
Based on what we know so far,
Mhm.
that Iran will be in control of that general area, and some king will turn up.
In that year.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
if you notice, Ron, that the person that we played in the first video,
yeah,
he was saying that King Trump's monarchy
hmm,
is somewhat different from the the traditional monarchy of King Charles.
yeah,
So King Charles is seen as a elder statesman, meaning that his monarchy is sort of a higher caliber.
yeah,
Now on Tuesday night we had mentioned the fact that King Charles had visited the papacy. he visited the Vatican in 2025. I think it was October.
Mhm.
And while at the Vatican, he was given a chair. He was given a special chair that
Yeah.
was placed in the St. Paul Cathedral.
Yeah.
So what is taking place is that because the monarchy of Britain is one of the oldest surviving monarchy at this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
What took place is that there's a sharing now of that um, elevated monarchy. So based on Revelation 17, if you look at Revelation 17 verse 12, you will see where these 10 kings would come into play.
Mhm.
But if you notice, when they come on the scene, it would have been the very last days.
Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It means that, so if you look at it, Revelation 17:12 says, and the 10 king which thou sawest are, sorry, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings,
Yeah.
which have received no kingdom as yet,
Yeah.
but receive power 1 hour with the beast, right?
Mhm.
So they are not going to be ruling for any length
Yeah.
of
The
time.
dominion will be very short.
Very short.
Yeah.
And then verse 13 says, these have one mind
Mhm.
and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
Yeah.
Now, one of the biggest thing is that for the 10 kings, which are not the traditional kings,
Yeah.
for those 10 kings which would have come up at the end, it means that they would have been selected by, and if I can use a term, the King of Kings, the earthly King of Kings.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes. Yes.
So it means that the
Yes.
deadly wound would have been healed, and that because the deadly wound would have been healed, now, the papacy would have been able to select
Mhm.
these 10 kings.
Yeah.
So King Charles coming to the US to confer the accolades on a Donald Trump
Mhm.
would have had to come with the authority of the papers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So he's actually selecting the kings, because these kings would have to give their power and strength to him.
That's not a wounded.
No, you can't be wounded and you have to
Yes.
select the king. And remember the role of Donald Trump. So this evening I want us to understand the role that Donald Trump plays.
Mhm.
Donald Trump is supposed to cause the chaos
Yeah.
that they will now have the result of which would bring forth order.
Mhm.
Out of chaos come forth order.
Yeah.
Order up go. Yeah. So that is the role that Donald Trump should play.
Yeah. Is
Or
it
is
beast the
playing.
papacy?
Huh?
Is it beast and the papacy one and the same?
All right, so we have two beasts in Revelation 13. The first beast that rose up out of the sea is actually the papacy, the Vatican.
Mhm.
And we have the second beast which came up out of the earth, which is Revelation 13:11 down,
Yeah.
which is the United States of America.
Yeah.
So we have two beasts. But notice that the United States is depicted as a beast with lamb-like horns.
Yeah.
So we have two horns like a lamb.
Mhm.
It did not say that the beast has horns of a lamb. It
Yeah.
says it has horns like a lamb.
Mhm.
It means that these horns are not genuine horns of a lamb.
Yes.
So it's a deception. It's a deceptive horn. It's like a lamb.
Mhm.
So that means whenever time you get close to it, you will see that it is not
Genuine
horns of a lamb.
horns. Yeah.
So while most people you have that confidence in the United States that it is for your freedoms, religious freedom, civil freedoms, all of these freedoms.
Yeah.
But now that it is being governed by a new system, a monarchical system,
Mhm.
you realize that those freedoms have been taken away from you. without the necessary or the requisite changes in the Constitution.
Yeah, yeah. Let me hope you're okay with that, Sadiq.
Mm.
Um, yes, Anthony, we need to change the guide a little.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's look at Joel
Mm-hmm.
because some things are emerging, in
Yes.
recent times, in
Yes.
recent weeks,
Yes.
and even in last week.
Yes.
It's happening as we speak,
Yes.
but
Yes.
some things turned up in last week, and I'm
Mhm.
wondering if anyone else saw it or
Mhm.
been hearing these things. And these are things we wish to share. I will just look at Joel, Joel 1, um, maybe 3 and 2 to 4.
Mhm.
Yeah, just for a short while. Then if we're going to verse 5. But here's what it says. It says Joel 1 verse 2
Mhm.
down to about verse 4 5.
Mhm.
It says, Hear this, ye old men, and give ear, all ye inhabitants of the land. Hath this been in your days, or even in the days of your fathers? Tell ye your children of it, and let your children tell their children, and their children another generation. That which the palmer worm hath left, hath the locust eaten,
Mhm.
and that which the locust hath left, hath the cankerworm eaten, and that which the cankerworm hath left, hath the caterpillar eaten. Awake, ye drunkards, and weep, and howl, all ye drinkers of wine, because of the new wine, for it is cut off from your mouth.
Mhm.
No.
All right. So notice that Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Joel is saying, verse 2, hear this, ye old men, and give ear all ye inhabitants of the land. Has this been in your days, or even in the
In the days of
days
your
of your
father.
fathers?
Mm-hmm.
And so, what is taking place today? We have never seen it.
Time such as never
Think
was.
about it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
independence of the United States 250 years ago, because
Mm-hmm.
July 4th this year, 250 years.
Yeah.
A generation is, well, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you even put the length of an individual based on the Bible,
Yeah.
3 score and 10, by reason of strength 80.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go 80 years in the past, it's 2 8 16, 3 8 24,
24. So going into the fourth.
three generation.
Yeah.
So
Going
we're
into the
in the
fourth
fourth
year now.
generation now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
A generation is 40 years based on the Bible. But
Mm-hmm.
we're looking at the lifespan of a person.
Yeah.
Because based on what Joel is saying, hear this, ye old men,
Mm-hmm.
and give ear, ye inhabitants of the land. Has this been in your days, or even in the days of your fathers? So it is actually looking at the lifespan of various generations.
Yeah.
And what it is saying is that the things that we are seeing now, it has not been seen this first, second, third generation.
Yeah.
It's way down in the fourth generation that we are now seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if it's what I'm saying. And so, based on what Joel is saying, verse 3 says, Tell ye your children of it,
That's the second generation.
and tell your children to tell their children.
That's the third.
And their children,
Another
another
generation.
which is
The
the fourth
fourth.
generation. So we're actually in the fourth generation.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at what we're supposed to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
It says that which the palmer worm has left, first generation,
Mm-hmm.
as the locust eaten, the second generation, and that which the locust has left, the conqueror has eaten, third generation,
Mm-hmm.
and that which the conqueror has left, the caterpillar. So we know the caterpillar part,
Yeah, but at the what?
No, and then think about the caterpillar. Because the caterpillar eat the leaf at the tree,
Mm-hmm.
So the vegetable gone with caterpillar. Incidentally, I hear recently that the farmers are now using what they call the tick wash to spray the vegetables.
Tick wash?
Ticks wash. I don't know if you know how serious that chemical is.
Didn't want you to mention ticks. Yeah. It is serious
The chemical is very serious.
to get the ticks off the
Off of the
dogs and the
skin,
animals.
cows and them. I hit them. I use spray vegetables. So the vegetables them no more look like the one we get from overseas. It's pretty, but these things can be good for you.
Tick
So,
wash.
so
Here
I'm
in
just
Jamaica.
I'm just
Oh.
showing you where we are. So them say where the caterpillar, where the cankerworm left, the caterpillar go eat it.
Yeah.
So it means that we're looking at famine. We're looking at famine. And then so this is what the Bible says. So in the fourth generation, famine.
Yeah.
Are we seeing famine on the horizon?
Let me hope we're seeing it. Let me hope we're seeing famine on the horizon. It's serious. I mean, I have to go back to the tick thing not too long from now, because I find it interesting.
Yeah.
Are we looking at famine? Yes, I think. Let me hope you're seeing famine.
Where is that?
On
Oh
the very
no,
last
but go
one.
back up that man and see if we can help her with some.
Oh no, it was.
Oh, so we did that already.
Yes, man.
Okay.
But I was making a comment.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But it is serious, and I'm seeing something here, Anthony. I was listening to a YouTube, presentation, video presentation, and the title of it says,
food quality.
Well, it is saying food quality, but the big one says prepare for May shortage.
May, okay.
It says prepare for May shortage.
No, it's not that it may become short. We are prepared
No,
for the month of May.
the month of May.
We are shortage.
We're at day 3 in May.
Yes.
So shortage in May. And it says there are 9 foods quietly disappearing from shelves. These may not be foods that you and I may have interest in, but it says they are disappearing. But when they went in detail, how much this food means to maybe Americans especially, and that they are disappearing secretly off the shelves. You're looking at canned sardines and tomato paste and yeast and cooking oil in large containers. And bouillon, the little square.
Yeah, the thing where you make soup and season. And,
that thing spreads a wide cross section of foods.
Right.
Shelf stale bacon that is going off the shelf. Bacon,
well, that's good. That's good.
You want it to drop off?
That's good. It's not good for you anyway. The Bible says it's not clean.
Yeah, evaporated milk in some cans and honey. Honey in large containers.
Well, man. So the man just go visit the beehive and them tell you say honey gone off of the shelf.
So honey is going, but the point the person is making is that prepare for these kind of shortages, especially in this month. And then I saw where the Pope was saying, May. He was making reference to May also. He says, the title says, Vatican News, Pope's May prayer intention. So the intention of Pope's prayer in May says that everyone may have food.
So, I don't like that prayer.
No, I don't like it either.
Because food not short.
Because we have food. So he's praying that we may have food.
We may have. Why that's so like the more take with all of the food?
So I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. It never sound good.
I must say.
And he's saying he said Pope Leo the 14th releases his prayer intention for the month of May and invites Catholics to pray that everyone might have food, as he highlights how millions of brothers and sisters continue to suffer from hunger while so much food is wasted.
All right, hold on there. So this is a signal now. It's a signal.
It is.
Just like how the visit of King Charles to the US is a signal that the America is going to be moving back into its region. So we're going to see America moving out of the Middle East, moving out of Europe, going back to its region. And that it is being now governed by a king. It's the same thing with the papacy. Once the papacy come out and say that he's praying now for everybody to that they may have food, that they may have food. You know, when I tell people to take the food off of the shelf, so you know you're going to have a major shortage. And this is not a natural or real shortage. It's going to be a manufactured crisis.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like how you have this double blockade in the Strait of Hormuz to curtail the exporting of fertilizers and other things that implements that goes into the farming. It is being done deliberately
Yeah,
to
yeah.
create a global crisis because we need to understand, that time is running out, and I don't think people think that we have, eternity here. But based on the United Nations, there's an agenda for 2030.
Yes.
How many years from now is 2030? So if you don't create these crises, that's why we're saying that Donald Trump has been tapped now to continue to create the chaos. So the chaos is going to accelerate because of the accolades that was the instrument of we gotta look for the instrument of authority has been laid on him. So the chaos is going to accelerate because in order to have the global world order that they are implementing now, you have to get this chaos up so we can implement the digital system so we can have total control over the goyams.
And I like how you mentioned the digital system, all right? Getting a little deeper into the Pope's prayer or intention to pray. It says a global issue. According to the World Food Program's 2026 Global Outlook, 318 million people will face food crisis or even worse situations this year. 308 is the same article, This man who wants everybody to pray for food.
Hey, if the time nobody pray now, because the last time them pray for peace, remember?
Yes.
Pray for peace.
This is the year we're still in the year of
we're
peace.
in a jubilee of peace. Yes.
2026.
And look for the peace, man.
Still the year of peace.
Peace is...
I know you're coming with food.
with food.
You're giving us food.
Problem.
This intention, he says, comes from the Pope's heart. This person was speaking about the World Food Program's outlook. 318 million people will face hunger or food crisis. This intention, he says, comes from the Pope's heart. It pains him deeply as a Pope that so many people in the world cannot access something as essential as human, as food. Essential and human as food. This is why he's asking everyone not to remain 30%. This is why he's asking everyone not to remain indifferent, but to take decisive action. First with prayer, then with concrete gestures of solidarity. And they were mentioning, these kind of gestures of solidarity. They were talking about the food bank. They control the food banks, as in the Catholic Church control the food bank. Now, why are you bringing these things to the fore? Is it that you're going to create a situation where there'll be famine? There'll be need for us to access the food banks.
Right.
And as I mentioned, the digital system.
Right.
There's just one way that you'll be able to have access to food.
Yeah.
Right? So they're talking about the food banks, awareness campaigns and, informing the community about this whole culture of solidarity and all of that. Where it comes down to consumption. I see it as very, very serious. The Pope making this statement that we need to pray for food in May. Now, the man who did the YouTube video, he speaks to a shortage in May.
Yeah.
And then the Pope comes out and says, listen, we're praying for food in May, which is his way of saying there will be shortage.
There will be.
Effective May. And May has started.
Yeah.
Now, how far is Jamaica away from this kind of shortage?
All right, so let's look at that because the food crisis goes along with the energy crisis.
Yes.
Now listen to this. This just took place in the wee hours of is what Sabbath morning.
Yeah.
Let's hear what they say. Let's press play.
All right.
Country. So 18 trillion's pouring in, but you can't give 500 million to Spirit Airlines. They're liars, they're con artists, they're frauds. And just like Trump's bankrupted everything in his life, he's bankrupting this again. Here, let's play it. More than $18 trillion now pouring into from all over the globe. Think of that, less than a trillion in 4 years.
Right.
In 11 months, if 12 months hasn't come out yet, that's a little bit up. But in 11 months, $18 trillion. So that's 18 times more. But think of it, it's really almost 100 times more if you really multiply it out properly. A short time ago, and I'll just share with you the human toll of this bankruptcy, just so you can hear the last flight by one of these Spirit Airlines pilots. Be getting very emotional, maybe emotional listening to this. Here, let's watch it. Some great conversations occasionally. A lot of crazy stuff has happened, but it's funny as we sit here. I'll speak for myself. I don't remember any of the bad times. Just the good ones. So, Spirit, we got our started flying in 1983. It was called Charter Air at the time. And in 1992, it changed its name to Spirit. So we've been in the air since 1983. What is that? 43 years. And unfortunately, that's over. So thank you. Your support over the years. And onward and upward, right? So, God bless you all. There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think about all of this. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
All right, so Spirit Airlines, Spirit
This is going bankrupt.
Spirit Airlines, no go bankrupt. Spirit Airlines, them gone out, them gone off of the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Now, based on that, they said that Spirit was not able to handle the hike in the jet fuel prices, so they went on. So Spirit is no more. Now think about it. When you go to the airports in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
Spirit Airline takes up a large part of the airport. The planes that come here, Spirit has, I think, two flights, morning, evening. They fly from all over
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Jamaica. So Jamaicans would have been unemployed based on the Spirit shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
They say over 17,000 people lost their jobs overnight because of the energy crisis.
Yeah.
So the gentleman was saying that Donald Trump is saying that they collected 18 trillion in less than a year of tariffs and all of that, and Spirit asked them for 500 million and then couldn't get Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Now you ask the question, why would you allow an airline like that affects so many persons
Yeah.
to go under without assisting?
Mm-hmm.
But when you understand that you should cause chaos. Now, people are saying that, listen, we have our government in place, we have people that should look out for us, right?
Yeah.
But remember now, they are there to cause the chaos so that they can bring forth the order. And one of the things that is supposed to come out of this so-called chaotic period
Yeah.
is that as you mentioned earlier on, the digital system,
Mm-hmm.
so that every single person have to accept their digital ID so that it can be pinned to a digital currency.
Yes.
And the other thing is that, when we talk about the 15-minute cities,
Mm-hmm.
where you are going to be curtailed to, being able only to move within a 15-minute radius
Yes.
of where you live. People used to laugh at it and say, man, we are free range. we have always been moving all over the place. No, I don't think we understand the impact of the closure of a Spirit airline.
Yeah.
Because next on the chopping block is going to be JetBlue. So these are called budget carriers, meaning that their fares, their airfares are normally way less than, for example, an American Airlines or a Delta. You see what I'm saying? So those are the ones that cater for the upper middle class and so on. The Spirit cater for the lower class, lower class. So most persons who you see fly down to Jamaica every weekend and whatever else, you can do it on a Spirit because it's
reasonable.
The flights are cheap and so on. What is going to be taking place now is that for you to get a flight out of Jamaica or into Jamaica, you will have to now go and break the bank.
Yeah.
And then think about
or forget about it.
Yeah, and the fact that those airplanes that are the carriers that remain in place, their flight, their ticket charges are going to go up because you're not competing anymore with these low budget aircraft. And so it is a deliberate move to curtail the movements of individuals.
Yes.
You remember what Daryl Voss said? Daryl Voss said, man, look how much carried up on the road, man. What's much carried up on the road?
We're not getting the message.
Yeah, and war are gone. So when you got airport and you see Montego Bay airport full and Kingston airport full.
Yeah.
And them I say, well, and them people are not say war are fight. Where them a move? So what you do now is take out these planes out of commission. And then you go on affordability. So most persons are not going to be able to afford to move. So we have the energy crisis. And then think about the industries that the industries that spawn around the the flight industry.
Yeah.
So you have now, you can order your things online and you ship it. So persons don't really shop in Jamaica anymore. You shop online. And then you get it flying overnight. Yeah, it's flying overnight on an airplane, and it's a budget airplane. So basically, the cost to bring those in is very minimal.
Yeah.
So it's cheaper for you to buy online and so on. So with those planes out of the way, you can't just go online anymore and go say, "Why, ship that."
That is one.
We are being corralled.
That is one.
You see? We're being corralled. And so King Chump is carrying out his mandate to cause chaos. And we not see no chaos yet.
And the ones that take the containers.
The ships. So the ships that take the containers then.
Yeah, the
Straight Hormuz block. And then the Panama Canal, there's a backlog. There's a backup of ships and other things. So I mean they create all of the avenues, And so there was some pushback by global leaders on Donald Trump. So with King Charles coming to confer the accolades and the instrument of authority on Donald Trump, now it's going to remove all of those hindrances, and you're going to see the chaos unleashed globally. The Pope said
that everyone might have food. It's serious.
Get your barrel. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
That's very important, Anthony.
Yeah.
We need to store up while we have the opportunity to do.
Yeah.
Because you can't say when there'll be a lockdown.
Yeah.
A global lockdown.
That
would trigger Jamaica also to go on lockdown. Teddy was saying that the tick wash is a serious chemical. So that public health told a family member of his that cow skin should not be eaten because of that same chemical that is used to bathe the cow.
Yeah.
And then he went further to say that that's why many people are growing their own food.
Yeah. and
now we don't have seeds nowadays, so I don't know.
That's the thing. And just to mention that there's a seed shortage in Jamaica.
Yes.
and the seeds that are on the market now,
Mhm.
they have to be manipulated because the soil, we have alkaline, and what the other one, the opposite of alkaline is that it is
Acidic.
acidic, yeah.
Yeah.
So the soil is
Okay.
acidic.
Mm-hmm.
We won't get into the whole idea of geoengineering, but
Yes,
the
yes.
chemicals that come
This
down
results from that.
from the geoengineering, the
Mhm.
aluminum and barium and so on, it causes the soil to be acidic. So the Monsanto, the seeds has to be engineered in such a manner that it
Yeah.
can germinate in an acidic soil.
Mm-hmm.
So your regular seed that you would have had, the heirloom seeds,
Yeah.
um, they have very low survival rate in the type of
Wow.
soils that we have.
Oh.
And this was done deliberately in order to create
The chaos
the food
and the
crisis.
food crisis.
Yeah.
You know that everyone might have food.
Mhm.
I still keep
The Pope.
reading what
Yes.
the Pope
Rohan
says. For
says,
me,
yes, yes.
the tick thing.
Yes.
You know, we have to close soon.
Mhm.
The tick thing. I saw in the news recently
Mhm.
that in America,
Mhm.
there is an increased number of tick on the cow farms.
Yes.
And they are saying if this tick should bite humans,
Mhm.
that they will have
Guillain-Barré, that's the name.
What?
Guillain-Barré syndrome. That's the name.
Could be.
Yeah, man.
But-
It gives you a particular disease. Yeah.
But the persons will no longer have an appetite for meat.
Yeah. You become allergic to meat.
Allergic to meat,
Mhm.
right? And then we see where, whenever you get to that state,
Mhm.
I don't think the desire will be for vegetable, because that would
Tactics flashback.
bring to naught and then Bill Gates with his meat, what meat's his name?
Bill Gates,
Yeah.
something there.
Impossible
Synthetic,
synthetic meat.
yeah, impossible meats and yeah.
So
synthetic,
that's what
yeah.
I think you will gravitate to,
Yes,
and not
yes.
vegetable.
Right,
So it's
right,
not really
right.
a good move.
Right.
Person having that
Right.
bitten by those kind of
They tell us that
Yeah.
they have deliberately saturated the different areas in the US, and it's a global thing. It's just like the mosquitoes, the genetically modified mosquitoes.
Yes.
They started in the US, Florida,
Mhm.
and then it went global. And therefore we had the Zika and the other viruses.
So there should be no mosquito in the world anymore.
Based on that, but we still have
Yeah.
the people growing, so they must spray the place. So
No,
I don't
we
understand
have-
how they must spray. But anyway, with the ticks,
Yeah.
we are going to have them in Jamaica as well, because
Yes.
it's a global thing, because
Yes.
they want the people to get rid of meat eating,
Mhm.
and go to bugs and worms and all
So
of these things.
they can
So that's,
introduce their kind of meat.
yeah, so that's part of the control mechanism coming out of the chaos that is being fomented at this
And
time.
it's also a part of the food supply
Mhm.
that the Pope is talking about. So you replace the absence,
Mhm.
yes, with these kind of foods.
Mercy.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
All right, in relation to the whole digital society,
Yes.
the Prime Minister was under illness.
Mm-hmm.
He was at a big meeting the other day. It was the launch of the World Bank report.
Mm-hmm.
It was the digital financial inclusion and transformation.
Mm-hmm.
It was a forum that was held in Jamaica. And as I said, it's about the launch of the World Bank report.
Mm-hmm.
You notice a number of reports have been...
We have the UNDP that came to Jamaica
Yeah.
recently.
Their
Same report
reports.
business.
Mhm.
We have UNESCO, their report.
It means some things have,
World
have,
Bank.
have taken effect. Yeah.
In Jamaica.
Yes.
World
in
Bank,
Jamaica.
their report. We are
This is
ground
the World
zero.
Bank.
Ground zero.
But he was saying something about the whole digital transformation and the need to be move swiftly and urgently with it.
This is where the effort really needs to be focused on. Digital Digitization for financial inclusion. We have not moved fast enough on this matter. We took a step, we invested in Jamdex. One would have thought that by now the take up and use of Jamdex would have been much more than it is. One of the reasons why I have appointed a minister for this is to ensure that it happens. There's just too many excuses, too many interests that are divergent. It's not in Jamaica's interest not to have a fully digital financial system. And whatever it takes to get it done, Minister, you have my 100% support. We must get it done.
Whoa.
And you say, hold on.
Whoa.
The digital financial system. And whatever it takes to get it done, Minister, you have my 100% support. We must get it done.
So there's a need.
We need to say mercy, Well, on, just go back a little bit.
He was saying a mercy.
Go back a little bit, because we need to say mercy. I don't think we understand what the Prime Minister just said. I don't think we understand what the Prime Minister just said. If you think about what Donald Trump is doing, Donald Trump is causing chaos globally with his tariffs, with the war. Everything that he does is to create chaos globally. Now think about what he has done to his own people in terms of the closure of the Spirit Airlines.
Yeah.
It means that Donald Trump has no regards for his own people.
Yeah.
Because right now the United States is facing inflationary prices, high gas prices, high rental and accommodation prices, and so on. So for you to lose your job right now, it means that you will be out on the streets. So there's no empathy or sympathy for his own people. You understand? In order to get this chaos happening so that they can implement a digital system.
Donald Trump was the one talking about jobs.
Right. Jobs. Right. So think about that. All right. Think about also the Pope talking about a food shortage.
Yeah.
That means famine. That means hunger. That means death. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. And this is all in an attempt to get the globe onto a digital system.
Yeah.
Because they want total control of every single individual in the world, based on Revelation 13 verse 15 to 17, and that no man might buy or sell. Think about what the Prime Minister of Jamaica just said. The Prime Minister of Jamaica just said that the digital system, digital ID, digital currency should have been far along by now.
Way further. Yeah.
And that's why he has put in place a person in charge of it. And by whatever means necessary. So it means we're going to have a massive hurricane this season. We're going to have earthquake.
Yes.
By whatever means necessary.
Whatever means. We have the person in charge has his 100%, backing, his support. So Sadiq says, mercy, Lord. All right, so we play it again.
We need to play it again.
The effort really needs to be focused on. Digitization for financial inclusion. We have not moved fast enough on this matter.
All right, so stop it right there. So we'll take your time. All right, when the man come from the UNDP the other day, and he said that Jamaica was the lab, right? He was saying that the priority on the agenda for Jamaica and the globe was digitalization.
Yes.
And now the Prime Minister is saying that we have not moved. The priority is digital. Why is it? Because it's not that it is unique to Jamaica and this is going to cause some sort of economic growth and whatever else. It is a global agenda.
It is.
So why is it that Jamaica... continue.
Sorry. Love, man.
Sorry.
Digitization for financial inclusion. we have not moved fast enough on this matter. We took a step, we invested in Jamdex. One would have thought that by now the take up and use of Jamdex would have been much more than it is. One of the reasons why I have appointed a minister for this is to ensure that it happens. There's just too many excuses, too many interests that are divergent. It's not in Jamaica's interest not to have a fully digital financial system. And whatever it takes to get it done, Minister, you have my 100% support. We must get it done.
Why then clap? Or who clap?
Them.
Or who clap? You remember, it's about 2 years ago, when there was a rollout of the new currency, the new durable currency, and people were saying that, well, we just roll this out and then next we'll have the digital system. And the Prime Minister came out and said, no stupid. Oh, we can invest so much money in getting new durable currency. And then so we're going to replace it with digital. When I'm fully digital.
Yeah.
Fully digital society. I have to read that scripture, because people need to understand what is happening.
And then I'll give a repeat with additional information.
Yeah, please, because we have to read this. Revelation chapter 7. You have to understand what is taking place now and why there is a resistance, reluctance in the taking up of the digital system.
Yeah.
Because most people who go to church don't realize that this digital system has to do with your soul salvation. Them don't see it as part of the beast system. Them see it as just another technological improvement.
Yeah.
But look what the Bible says, Revelation 7 verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Verse 2 says, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. We are right there. We are right there, because now we are seeing the 10 regions by the Club of Rome. The world has been divided into 10 regions.
Yeah.
We are seeing the implementation of the 10 kings. And the Bible says that these 10 kings are going to gather the entire world to the battle against God.
Yeah.
And so what we are seeing now with the delay in the rollout of the digital system,
Jamaica. Yeah.
is the
Well,
angels,
yeah.
globally, is the angels holding the 4 winds. And there's a reason for holding the 4 winds, to seal the people of God in their foreheads.
Yeah.
So, if we are not understanding where we are in this earth's history, then, we're not going to make our call in an election, sure.
So God is waiting on us to rise up.
No, he's not waiting
to
on
take a
us.
stand.
Him not wait for we, He might hold the winds.
Yeah.
He might make sure some people are sealed.
Yeah.
And then he might let it go.
Let go. Yeah.
And as soon as you see Trump bust that war in Iran, hope it again. Because it has to be hope again. Because we are not at this crisis period where the famine and the pestilence and all of these things. Then you know that the winds are let loose. The sealing is over. We're in serious times.
Be serious.
So we need to get this done, Minister. We've been talking about it. We've been going around in circles. As I say, there are divergent perspectives on a unified payment platform. Divergent perspectives on which systems to use. We need to make some final decisions. Put in place the legislation. Much of it is already in place. and we may need to use some moral suasion on the actors to ensure that the digital transformation in the financial sector in particular moves quickly.
Hold on, man. Go on.
That's it. I feel somewhere else here, John. So are you ready?
Hey,
You ready?
hey, listen, man, people. People. I've never heard such strong language.
Yeah.
I've never heard
Strong.
such strong language. Not even a COVID when them a charge you
Yeah.
$250,000 for wear mask. I've never heard such
Strong.
strong language. It means that you remember when we did a program when the UNDP man came.
Yes.
And we were saying that the UNDP man has said, listen, we put my money in this thing, brother.
Mm-hmm.
We better put as priority the digital system. Yeah, because he was
Yes.
saying, he was in effect saying to them, so we put the money, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
We no promise to say the people I'm going to take the digital system. And them now take it up.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to do. And then as the UNDP man left, UNESCO come. And at the same thing UNESCO say, and see World Bank come again.
Yeah.
When them somebody say, and no, them I say it, and we I say it. Now talk about moral suasion. Sherry.
Okay. Yes.
Sherry bien.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, moral suasion. When you talk about moral suasion, you're talking about the central bank. You're talking about how the central bank deals with the banks that fall under it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing monetary policy, you don't necessarily have to implement a law or a policy document.
Yeah.
What you do is moral suasion. So you tell them that, listen, all right, so we're going to increase the amount of money that you keep with us in order to reduce liquidity in the system.
Yeah.
Or we increase, we reduce the amount that you keep with us so you can have more money to lend and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. So moral suasion, is he addressing the regular people? Is he addressing the banking sector? Who is he addressing that he's saying that he's going to use these tools to encourage the take up?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It means, I don't think we remember history. I remember growing up in the 80s, you see. There was an election, 70s, I think 79, 80, 81, somewhere, 80, I saw.
But the election would have been 80.
1980.
Yeah.
And I remember the powers that be take off all of the food off of the shelf, brother.
Mm-hmm.
When you go shop, a beer shelf, you see, and everything married. You remember that time there?
Yes, yeah, I remember the married.
Yeah, man, everything married, man. I think because the society changed, the married thing now go on now, but everything used to marry them time
Food
there.
married to food.
Yeah, man, saltfish have to sell. Nobody now buy saltfish. You have to buy saltfish to get flour.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I say? Yeah, man, and you know, have no rice, not the pan shelf. I remember we went to a shop and the shop owner was eating his Sunday dinner and rice and peas. Them kind of people don't see rice for days.
Mm-hmm.
And man, they sit down way out the front up in the ear so everybody can see you eat rice. By whatever means necessary. And as soon as the election was over, every shelf packed with rice.
Mm-hmm.
I think the boat them couldn't come to Jamaica so far. So I think no transport. We didn't have that amount of transport like we have now.
Mm-hmm.
So I see none load up and come in the community. So everybody was told to take them off of the shelf. Election over, them just put it back on the shelf. By whatever means necessary, we don't understand what is ahead of us.
It's crazy. All right, so we have the health minister now, Christopher Tufton, who said this.
Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton is appealing to Jamaicans to reject growing anti-vaccination sentiments and misinformation, which have intensified since the COVID-19 pandemic.
The anti-vax movement has gotten a lot stronger, a louder voice, and they have leveraged the very technology that we're using today to store through the platforms of social media and otherwise to launch their campaign against immunization. We must reject at all cost the argument that is being put forward from whencever it comes that immunization or vaccine somehow are bad for you. The science doesn't bear that out. The history doesn't bear that out.
The health minister made the appeal at the recent contract signing for the software to be used in the implementation of the Electronic Immunization Registry EIR project. Dr. Tufton argues that while all medical procedures carry a baseline of minimal risk, the benefits of immunization overwhelmingly outweigh all potential drawbacks. Jamaica's public health success, he asserts, is built on a foundation of safe, tried, tested, and peer-reviewed immunization programs that have resulted in the eradication and control of diseases such as polio.
Countries like Jamaica, when one's afflicted by polio and so on, without vaccines against polio, we would have been in a much worse position.
Dr. Tufton affirmed the government's commitment to consistently embracing the safest approaches to immunization.
So that is happening while, the Prime Minister is pushing the whole digital ID, digital currency system. And you wonder, is there a,
connection?
Can we tie them in?
Of
Is there a
course,
connection
of course,
between,
there's a connection.
The whole,
Of course, there's a connection.
yeah,
It means that it means that the signal is sent. The signal is sent. If you are going to be telling, because I think COVID is behind us, no, sir?
Yes.
I'm
So
hoping
we are told.
I'm hoping that COVID is behind us. And if COVID is behind us, why is it then a problem with people not wanting to accept? Seeing that the companies that were responsible for the manufacture of the MRA systems that they gave us, the poisons, right?
Yeah.
They came out and said that there was a problem with their product. No, sir?
Yes. That company.
So are you saying that Christopher Tufton is saying that the information that the CEO came out and said that there was a problem with their product, they are wrong? The CEO of the different companies now, in a sense?
He says the science proves that.
Yeah, but them come out and say the science where them use. Well, when I say me sit down on a panel, there was a press conference. He was on the panel, and all the religious leaders in Jamaica sat on that panel. And they were saying that the science, them trust the science.
Yes, they did say.
And then after the fact now, the CEO of all of these safe and effective poison company came out
so the science we use
and
is
said
faulty.
The science is faulty. And that is why so many people are dying.
But the church people didn't know that. So God didn't speak to them to inform them that, listen, this thing is faulty.
Them believe that the science and trust in them.
Science
is a God.
It's safe and effective.
It's safe and effective. And that is why on the weekends now you see so many funerals.
Yeah.
Because of that science. And so what we are going to be seeing is not only the disasters, manufactured disasters, but we are going to see health crisis. That is why Nebert and Debbie, when they come on
Nature's Way
on Sundays, and are looking at the herbs and the natural remedies and the preventative measures to preserve your health. Why it is important that you listen and you try to understand, because you see what the leadership is, where they are going. When you look at Donald Trump in the US, you are saying, man, that man is, but look at what our people are saying. The man them straight up I tell you, say things not go pretty going forward. It's not going to be pretty.
Not only does the receiving these kind of shots, not only do they cause death, but they also, especially the recent ones, they are also enablers. They allow you to be connected. You become emitter and transmitters and all that kind of thing.
Fourth
So
industrial
the whole
revolution.
digital system will be possible.
Yeah.
Possible for you.
Sherbian says
Why there are no more comments?
people needs the digital ID to collect their food from the shop that will be issued
issuing these food
food
items.
items. Yeah, because if you think about it, when the Pope say, boy, you might hope so we have food in a meal. And when the government I tell you, say, all right, so all of this thing will go ration. And therefore, there's going to be a system put in place to efficiently distribute food, the ration item.
Yeah.
So not only energy in terms of gas and so on, but also food item. I don't know if we can understand what is about to take place. And that is why the Bible tells us that God is actually holding. Here the Prime Minister said him no understand why the people them not take up the thing.
Yeah.
You don't need to understand. God I tell them say hold on so that the people them can figure out what go on and make a decision for him. And so this evening we need to make a decision.
So it is time to figure out.
Yeah.
Because God will not hold on forever.
No.
It's time for us to make a decision.
Yeah.
And as I said in the opening prayer, I pray that we make that decision, for God, for righteousness. It's not something strange to Jamaicans, to stand. Yes, we are used to that, standing for what is right. We protest for the simplest things. We are known for that. Now we have an opportunity to protest or to stand for something that is good, something that is soul saving. I pray, I do hope and pray that we make use of this opportunity to make that stand for God, for righteousness. In these times, Anthony, my time has far gone. And we have covered so much. Even though we could stay here for the entire night. But I do hope that we touched on all of the the things that we have as our topic, the kings and the whole control chaos and energy and food crisis. Just your final words to wrap up.
Well, Teddy say, heaven help us.
Yes. Super scary times ahead. We have to hold tighter than ever to Yahshua's unchanging hand.
Yeah. One other thing about this is I recall Ron.
Yeah.
In the Bible, Jesus recognized the times he was living in.
Yeah.
And so he tried to sensitize his disciples as to the times. I don't remember if you recall, Jesus was saying to his disciples that, listen, I'm supposed to go to Jerusalem and I'm going to be delivered into the hands of wicked men.
Yeah.
And they are going to crucify me. And Peter looked on Jesus and said, be it far from thee, Lord. And Jesus have to look on him and say, get behind me, Satan. Not so?
Yeah.
Because Peter and his friends were scared. The disciples were scared. I think the other time we see that they were scared for the future based on the information that Jesus was given. The other time we see it is when there was a message that was sent to Jesus that Lazarus died. And so Jesus delayed. So he heard that Lazarus died, but he had to go to Jerusalem because that's where Mary and Martha and Lazarus actually live. And so after 4 days,
yes,
him call him disciples and say, all right, so Lazarus is asleep. And we have to go wake him.
I go wake him.
And the disciples then said, man, if him asleep, him good. We don't have to go. We have to go. But the Bible lets us know that the disciples were scared because of the things that Jesus had told them would come. No, sir?
Yes.
They were scared. Yes. Not knowing that they should have taken the information and make the necessary preparation.
Yeah.
That was the reason why they were given the information. Now, you need to know the truth so that you can make the necessary preparation. It's not the truth that is being given is not to scare you.
Yeah.
Because the Bible says, I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of love
Power
and power
mind.
and of a strong mind. So knowing the truth, it means that you are now able to make the necessary preparation. And what was the preparation that the disciples were supposed to make? If you notice, when Jesus went to Jerusalem, he went also into the Garden of Gethsemane.
Yeah.
And there he told them, pray lest you enter into temptation. But they were so scared that them drop asleep. Them couldn't pray, them drop asleep. So knowing the time and so on, you know that, well, your only help is in Jesus. If you're not under the shadow of the Almighty, there's no way you will be spared.
True.
You have a lot of people who say, no, I'm good. I don't do certain things, so I am good, but you're not fully committed to Jesus.
Yeah.
You have not given your life to Jesus. It means that you are only good for a time, because the Bible says that the whole world will wander after the beast, and the whole world will take the mark of the beast system.
Yeah.
So you're only what you call it now? Your only protection is to surrender to Jesus your life, because he's the only one that can protect you from what is coming.
Well, in a closing, what are you saying? There's a question from Sadiq. Are you saying that the four winds are let loose? Yeah.
So there's a question if
Yeah,
if we're saying that the four winds are let loose. All right, so what would cause the four winds to be let loose? Remember now, the Bible says in Revelation 7 that the four winds are held in check until the people of God are
Servants of
sealed.
God are sealed. Yeah.
All right, so the four winds will be let loose now after the sealing process.
Yeah.
So remember, after you're sealed now, then the war, strife, commotion, everything. Now, what would be the test for the sealing process? So the test is going to be the system that is put in place,
Yeah.
to afford you the mark. That's all.
Mhm.
And so if you hear what the Prime Minister said, the Prime Minister says that the person who is in charge of implementing the digital system is given total autonomy to use every means necessary.
Yeah.
That means that the four winds that you know. Because, all right, so the reason why we are not going to be taking the digital ID or digital system is because your digital ID is going to cause you to be connected to the Internet of Things.
Yes.
And once you are connected to the Internet of Things, the creators of the Internet of Things tell us that the AI system that is going to control all of that is like summoning the demon. So it's demonic at the head of it. That's
Right.
all?
And we are Christian.
And we are Christians, so we can't be worshiping demons.
Yes.
We can't have demons in charge of our moral or consciences. So if the person in charge has the full backing of the Jamaican government to unleash on us, what you call it, anything necessary,
Yes. Yes.
it means that the winds, where the winds there. Because remember, this is going to be a test for us now. How you going to survive? And then think about it. When Donald Trump now unleashed all his forces in that Middle East between Iran and the rest. Because remember, for Donald Trump, for the papacy to implement the digital system, you have to get rid of the petrodollar, the world reserve currency.
Yes.
And the seat of the petrodollar is in the Middle East, Because remember, for the petrodollar to remain relevant, you have to buy oil using the petrodollar. When you shut off all the oil from the Middle East, then the petrodollar does not remain relevant anymore. So the digital system can now take over. In addition to that, the United States has to move all its assets and personnel from the Middle East and Europe back to its region, so the rest of the kings can rule their region. You see what I'm saying? So once you see the war starts again, it means that the wind is let loose. It means that the globe will now come under the test of accepting or rejecting the digital system.
Yeah.
That's it. So we are right there. We are right there where the winds are going to be let loose. I remember with that wind, once it's let loose, you have famine. And where the Pope say?
The Pope hoping that we have food instead of famine.
Famine. And when you have energy crisis, everything, so that you will now have to, you can't buy or sell. And once you have these shortages, scarcity, then the government will now ration and dictate to you that if you don't have the digital system, you cannot get any of these things. It is not going to be freely available. You see what I'm saying? So this is where the winds, we are just right there. And we don't understand it. That's where we are. Let us pray. Loving Father, we are thankful that you would have given us the privilege to be able to have this discussion this afternoon, that you would have opened more eyes that we can see exactly where we are in this earth's history. We pray for strength now, that you will deliver us from fear of what is coming, and that you will help us to be obedient to your commandments and your laws, that we'll have a right to the tree of life when you shall come. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, it has been a long night. We thank everyone for, bearing with us, hanging on in there. And for your many comments, you add a lot to the program. Yes, it was a very eventful night. Until it's tomorrow. We are back to regular programming.
Yeah, we're back to regular programming tomorrow. So tomorrow morning,
at
7
to 9
a.m. There's going to be a Bible study.
Yes.
Tomorrow morning, and then Tuesday evening. 8 to 10 p.m. we have our regular Blessed Hope review.
Show.
And then Wednesday morning we are back again, and Thursday morning
drive time Bible study, and Thursday morning
7 to 9. Yeah, drive time. Yeah.
All right. The Lord is good.
Yes.
All right, Lord has been good.
Yeah.
And He has afforded us this wonderful opportunity. Let's make maximum use of it. No?
Definitely.
100%. As the Prime Minister said. Yeah. This time, make very, very, very good use of it. All right. Thank you, everybody. Until tomorrow.
David, you said no, not tomorrow. Yeah, man, we should be on tomorrow, David.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll be on tomorrow. I said, if you don't believe us, ask somebody.
Yeah. We should be on tomorrow. All right.
Have yourselves a good and godly evening.
Yes.
All right.